Hello everyone, I'm at the Isha Yoga Center in conversation with a man who's been called many things, a mystic. Well, he's laughing at that, a monk with a motorcycle and a maverick as well, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. Sadhguru, thank you very much for speaking to us. I was going through the Isha website and I saw a countdown there to the International Yoga Day. I was about to ask you what you think of the fuss had I not seen that website, but I still want to ask you what you think of the fuss.
I wouldn't call it a fuss, first of all, because this is the first time, in recent history at least, in modern times, that heads of states are beginning to speak about the inner well-being of the human being. They've only been talking about economy, wars, so many other things, but never about the individual human being. Ultimately, everything that we do in this world is about the human well-being. And national leaders, international leaders are talking about the inner well-being of a human being. It's a phenomena, it's not fuss, it's a great phenomena. I think it's a wonderful thing.
But is yoga merely a physical exercise or is it an extension of Hindu philosophy? I ask you this question because, you know, in the recent weeks we've had many Muslim organizations come forward and say, look, keep our children out of this. We bow to no one but Allah. If you make participation in something like Yoga Day compulsory in schools, you know, it's un-Islamic. What's your counter to that argument? Do you agree with them?
I think it's because they're ill-informed about this. We must understand, as there is a science and technology for external well-being, there's an entire science and technology for inner well-being. And the reason why, as societies get affluent, people have more problems than before, is simply because we have not taken care of the technologies for inner well-being. So when technologies for inner well-being are being offered free of cost and no cost to them and just to try something physical, something to do with the body, something to do with the breath, something to do with their mind, emotion and energy, I do not know in what way it will be against anybody's religion or anything. If you call yoga Hindu, if yoga is Hindu, then gravity must be Jewish. What can I do? You must be in heaven, you can't be on this planet. We want to introduce the children of our future, the future of this nation and this world, to something with which they can work within themselves. So, why is science compulsory? When I was in school, there were some Jain students who would not do dissection, but they say how to teach science to these people. They let them go to commerce. Halfway through the year, they all shifted to commerce. That was their choice. If it's against your religion, you must do something else. So in an institution, if an institution is concerned about the inner well-being of the child, about their health, well-being, their mental stability, and they want to teach you something towards that, if you're against that, I don't know how it'll work.
But this is not the first time that we are seeing politics and faith on collision course with individual choice.
No, we have to correct that question, because where is the question of faith? There is no question of faith. We are talking about yoga. The land that lies between Himalayas and Indus-Sagara is Hindu. We realized for thousands of years we had peaceful existence. Our culture owed its existence and flourishing to these two geographical features. So out of gratitude, we called ourselves Hindu, because without these two geographical features, we wouldn't be who we are. So, an earthworm born in this land is a Hindu earthworm, I want you to know. It is just like an elephant born in Africa is an African elephant. Is it religion, I'm asking? Yoga predates the very idea of religion. It's over 15,000 years ago, when there was no religion, so it was not in competition with any religion. We explored the human mechanics and arrived at how to get this to the ultimate possibility.
So that is yoga, all right. But over the last 1 year, we've seen, as I said, faith, politics collide with individual choice. The beef ban, for example. What do you make of that?
I would say if an individual person wants to cut something in his house and eat, it's up to him, okay? It's max of insensitivity to me. But definitely we don't want India to become a major beef exporter, not because of any religious reasons. I don't identify myself with any religion, but I'm saying for simple sensitivity, it is not. And ecologically, it's a disastrous way to eat. The whole world is talking about it. Western countries who have lived on beef, on red meat for a long time, now doctors are trying to wean them off this beef, saying this is the most disastrous way to eat, both for yourself and for nature around you.
But
Do you know
despite that knowledge…
No, 20% of the world's pollution happens because of beef eating. You want to start that now in this country?
I want to ask you what you think of what you see around you. I've seen hot yoga, cold yoga, power yoga, traffic yoga, steam yoga. Has spirituality been taken away from the sort of yoga we are seeing today?
See, there are many dimensions in which you can teach yoga. You have backache and that's all you're interested in, that your backache should go. We'll teach you one kind of yoga. You want peace of mind, we'll teach you another kind of yoga. You want to be blissed out, I will teach you another kind of yoga.
It's custom-made, you're saying?
It has to be custom-made because there is no other way to make it. Because the Yoga Sutras gave only sutras or formulas. Sutra means it's like a thread. You make a garland with a thread, but you don't wear a garland for the sake of the thread. It's for the sake of the flowers. So the Yoga Sutras gave only the thread. What kind of flowers you add to it is the skill of each individual person. So it has to be custom-made, there is no other way. If I give you the yoga that I give to somebody else, it's not going to work for you because you are a unique combination of things. So yoga always has to be custom-made. Now these manifestations or distortions you're talking about, this is a commercial process that is happening in the world.
Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
No, I'm not… It is definitely not a great thing, but it's a good thing in the sense, it is a rudimentary stuff being offered to people. People will start that, their backache goes away, they think it's a great thing. See, backache is nothing for me because I don't know what's backache. But somebody else who is suffering it is the biggest thing in his life. So in his mind, getting rid of the backache is the only ultimate goal he has. I am not against that, I'm okay. Are they teaching it properly? There are question marks about it. Some of them are teaching properly, some of them are not. How they promote it in the world is as it works for them. How to make it known in the world, tell me. You think we should still make it known like… because you don't know how the ancient yogis lived. People come and tell me, Sadhguru, yogis in the past used to walk, but you drive. I say, you fool, at that time everybody were walking, not just the yogis. Entire population was only walking.
You spoke of driving. Can I quickly ask you that question I've been wanting to ask you? You're a jet-setting guru. You fly your own helicopter. You have a fleet of luxury cars.
Who said this?
Well, I read it.
I have one 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser which is ready to fall apart. I'm holding it together. I don't own any other car. It is just that 70% of my work is in rural India. It is… when I come to Delhi, maybe I'm sitting in a good place, maybe somebody offers me a car which I prefer to drive instead of having a chauffeur. Is it a crime? Because… so right now the problem is, most people's idea of spirituality is, they think if you're spiritual you can't do this, this and this. So they think spirituality is a disability. I want to show them it is an immense capability, it's an empowerment.
All right. You call your technique of yoga inner engineering. Why inner engineering? That sounds cold, mechanical. If yoga is philosophy, then where does engineering come into it?
Yoga is not philosophy. Yoga as a practice is a technology. Yoga in its fundamental form is a science. I repeat that. As there is a science and technology for external well-being, there is a science and technology for inner well-being. I insist in calling it a technology because technology means like this. It doesn't matter who you are. If you learn to use it, it works for you. This is why I'm telling all those people who are protesting. This is a technology. You buy an iPhone, all right? Whether you're a Hindu, Muslim, Christian or whatever nonsense you are, unless you learn to use it, it's not going to work for you. If you learn to use it, it works for you. The same with yoga. If you learn to use it, it works for you. If you don't learn to use it, it doesn't work for you.
And some people might decide to accept that technology and others might decide not to.
Yes.
And it's perfectly fine for those who don't want to do it.
Of course. Never in the history of humanity has it ever happened, somebody put a sword to your throat and said, you must do yoga. It's lived for over 15,000 years without papacy, without sword, without gun, without force, simply out of sheer efficacy. Now, because we have taken a beating of many hundred years of invasions and occupations, and we've lost our own culture and all the ingredients we had which gave us strength and well-being. We're trying to introduce it back in the schools. Please try it. There is no guarantee he will do it for his life, but teach it to him. So we teach you physical education like this with a band. What is that? From England. That's okay. You will do it because you're still a slave in your mind. You don't want to do an Indian form of exercise, you want to do a British form of exercise. What is that? That's okay?
My question to you, are you surprised that many of us will see a guru and think to ourselves, fraud? People like Asaram have done no favors to the community in any case.
See, there are, unfortunately in this country, the general integrity in this country has dropped dramatically, believe me. You think politicians are corrupt, now you adding gurus to it, I don't know what kind you met. Now you think the gurus are corrupt. I want you to know there are corrupt doctors, there are corrupt lawyers, there are corrupt policemen, there are corrupt politicians, maybe there are corrupt gurus, of course there are. There are corrupt journalists.
Yes.
Yes? So does that make everybody corrupt? So I'm saying generally the integrity in the country has come down. Too many people are innocent of integrity. The nation is corrupt, we have to fix it. If you have to fix it, one fundamental thing you have to do is you have to bring the discipline of yoga into their life. Why I'm saying this is, yoga means union. Without you knowing what's happening to you with a simple practice, you begin to experience what is around you as myself. Right now corruption has come because I think what is good for me I do, that's all. I don't care what happens to you.
So yoga can cure corruption from this country?
100%, not like tomorrow morning. It's not like an anti-corruption movement which is corrupt by itself, okay? Once you're blissful by your own nature, it's very natural for you to be good to everything around you. This is a way of fixing individual human being. You're trying to fix a world that doesn't exist. There is no world out there, there's just you and me.
Sadhguru, I know a lot of your disciples have questions for you, but for the moment I'm slipping into a very quick break. Back with much more. Welcome back. I'm in conversation with Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, and I know that all of you have questions, but before that, I want to ask you, what's the toughest question that you've been asked?
I've never been asked tough questions till now, I'm waiting for them.
All right, I hope we get some here. I believe you have a question. Yes, please go ahead.
I did inner engineering last year, but when I mention yoga to my friends and relatives, they look at me with a questioning look and they say, why yoga so early in life? What do you have to say about that?
Oh, they want to do deathbed yoga, okay?
And that adds to the list of all the yogas we've heard.
Yoga, on one level, is the science of harnessing your physical and psychological capabilities and also your energy. If you don't take charge of this, how are you prepared for life, I'm asking? Just by some rubbish you gather in your head going to university? Yes, you may get a job, but you don't know how to live. How many people who are educated are blissed out and walking on the street blissfully? They are the most frustrated people. You see, educated faces are more unhappy than the uneducated faces, and that's not fair. It costs a lot to educate you.
My question is in regards to all the mothers here. We seem to be doing everything wrong, it seems, because we read the newspapers and it says we are living in the most polluted city in the world. So the air my child is breathing is toxic for his lungs. The food which he's eating, be it veggies, pulses, or the Maggie which he loves so much, is adulterated. So what do we mothers do for our children? How would yoga help my child?
What mothers did for a long time, that's what you need to do. Thing is, right now you want to cook in 2 minutes. You think there would be no consequence? I'm telling you, Maggie having lead content is not the issue. The meal is ready in 2 minutes. Please understand, there are 1,000 things which is wrong with it. You may not be able to know that in the laboratory, but your body knows what's wrong with it. A food that is cooked and kept for months on end on the shop shelf and you just wet it and you eat it, you think that's the best food to give to your child? Please understand, if anybody wants to cook in 2 minutes for their children, I think it's irresponsible. For thousands of years, the yogic systems have told you, if you consume something, if you cook something, within an hour and a half you must consume. You consume food which has been cooked 3 months ago, 8 months ago, because somebody markets and says this is the best thing to eat, well, you lost all your sense and you've given your sense to marketing forces. You must understand, human consciousness should shape the commerce on this planet. Right now, commerce is shaping the human consciousness in this planet. That will lead to a disastrous situation.
The general perceivement in the corporate is that there is so much of responsibilities they have, and so much of time is done doing their basic jobs. Where does yoga fit in?
If they're spending so much time just doing a simple job, I think it amounts to inefficiency. I'm telling you, I will give you a simple process where you invest, let's say 30 minutes a day. You will see in a matter of 3 months, what you could do in 8 hours, you will start doing in 4 to 5 hours. You were sleeping for 8 hours, you will sleep for 4 to 5 hours. This is efficiency. Yoga means taking care of yourself the way you need to be taken care of. It's like somebody saying, somebody is driving every day his car and he thinks servicing it once a month is not a good thing because it's a waste of time. Well, you will see him pushing his car. He spends so much time in the hospital, going to the doctors. I haven't been to a doctor in whatever, I don't even remember when. If you believe what you are doing, your work is important, the first thing is you must work upon yourself. There are problems and problems. But if you yourself are a problem, your own thoughts and your own emotions are a serious problem, how are you going to handle the world's problems? It's a joke.
I want to know that how far can yoga go in relieving ourselves from stress, in our daily lives, in our working lives, and how can we sort of overcome this issue?
Your job cannot be stressful. Your family cannot be stressful. The world is not stressful. No such thing happens anywhere in the world. The only thing that's stressful is you are stressful because you do not know how to manage your body, you do not know how to manage your mind, your emotions or your energy. Or in other words, neither your body nor mind taking instructions from you. If your mind took instructions from you, for example, your mind is taking instructions from you right now, would you keep it blissful or stressful? Definitely. So obviously it's not taking instructions from you. The problem with you is they gave you a supercomputer, Of all the gadgets on this planet, this is the gadget. I'm asking you, have you read the user's manual, sir? That's all the problem is.
Could you please tell us a little bit about how this could impact the whole world, maybe?
We are offering simple forms of yoga for everybody to taste yoga. Yoga itself, yoga per se will need much more discipline and focus and attention and a committed atmosphere. So because of this, we are teaching what is called as Upa Yoga or Sub Yoga or Pre-Yoga. Upa Yoga is very simple, mainly for physiological and psychological benefits. There is no spiritual element in it. Anybody can try it. By themselves, looking at a video, they can try it. It won't cause any harm and you can't do it wrong. Even if you do it slightly off, it will not cause any harm, it's safe. You will know the benefits of it. You do it for a month and see what it does, then I'm sure once you taste something good, you will want to go for more. So this is a phenomena in the sense, for the first time, 177 countries, the leaders of 177 countries have endorsed yoga. That means all of them feel the need for the inner well-being of their citizens in the world, which is a phenomena which has never happened before. I think every citizen in this country and in the world must stand up, and above all, this is the soft power of this country. India can become the gateway for inner well-being of the world, and that is where this International Yoga Day is going. One thing is India is claiming yoga back, another thing is it's offering it to everybody.
Sadhguru, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.